Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about the Sherry murders, and I'm going to do some videos about that. But it happened on September 14th, 1987, and the victims were Vince and Margaret Sherry, Biloxi, Mississippi. Vince was a circuit court judge and attorney, and Margaret Sherry was a Biloxi city councilwoman. And Margaret Sherry was trying to do I won't say three things. She was going to run for mayor of Biloxi in 1989 against the incumbent mayor, Gerald Blessey. And then number two, she was trying to shut down the remaining strip clubs in Biloxi. Three, she strongly opposed to bringing casinos and casino resorts into Biloxi because she thought it would attract a criminal element. Okay? Well, on September 14th, 1987, Vince and Margaret Sherry were gunned down, and if you watch the FBI Files movie or TV series, you can find it on YouTube, Season 2, Episode 7. They talk about it. It's called the Dixie Mafia Murders. And there was foam rubber found at the crime scene, and Robert Burris, who was an investigator of the Biloxi Police Department, discovered it. And there was no foam rubber elsewhere in the house. They examined all the pillows. They examined everything else in the house. So the foam rubber had to have came from outside the house. Well, that came, and then they also found the shell casings. And on the foam rubber, they found gunpowder residue. So who killed the Sherrys, we know who killed them. That's going to be in the future part of the videos. But it was a professional job. It was a professional hitman who did it. And it wasn't just a random home invasion or a burglary gone wrong. It was a professional hitman. Vince and Margaret Sherry were both shot in the head. And that's what happened. Okay? All right. Now, we'll go to Pete Halat, who later became mayor of Biloxi. He was Vince Sherry's law partner. Well, when Vince Sherry, on September 16th, 1987, when he failed to appear in court, Pete Halat went and called the Sherry's home, didn't get an answer. He went there, and both the Sherry's cars were there, and both of the newspapers, for Saturday and Sunday, the newspapers were still in the driveway. Well, sorry, for Sunday and Monday, excuse me. The newspapers for Sunday and Monday were still there. So Pete Halat goes in there, and he says that, and he sees one of the bodies. He said Vince and Margaret Sherry are both dead. But his worker that went with him said that Pete Halat did not have enough time to go into the bedroom. Margaret Sherry's body was found in the bedroom. Vince's body was found in the living room right at the front of the house. Well, Halat later became a suspect, and there's reasons for that I'm going to talk about in the video. But then also, where it's tied into this, the owner of the Biloxi strip clubs was a man by the name of Mike Gillich, and Mike Gillich was tied with Dixie Mafia hitman Kirksey Nix, who was already serving time in prison. Well, Halat was the attorney for both Gillich and Kirksey Nix. Vince Sherry was not even though they belonged to the law firm. Halat was their personal attorney. And there was a scam called the Lonely Heart Scam that went on. It was the Dixie Mafia disguised themselves as gay men, putting ads in paper saying they needed help, they needed money, they were in bad situations. This was a time when homophobia was more rampant in the United States than it is now. So plenty of people thought they were helping these gay people, but it was going to the Dixie Mafia, going to Gillich, and it was basically used as trying to get a way for Kirksey Nix to bribe his way out of prison. He was serving prison in Angola, a life sentence for other murders, and for extortion, racketeering. It was a whole number of offenses. Kirksey McCord Nix Jr. was his full name. He was a very bad guy. And well, it turned out that Halat was scamming money from the Lonely Heart scam. And he blamed Vince Sherry for it. And basically, Halat was covering himself. So I'm going to end that video on that. That, yeah, Halat blamed Vince Sherry for skimming some money from the Lonely Heart scam. Because the Dixie Mafia would give the money to Halat to store. And that's what happened. That's how Halat still to this day says he wasn't involved in the murders, but he did serve 15 years for it. He worked, and he's been out of prison since 2012 now. So I'm going to end the video on that. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. So hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.